Hi, I'm Haley. I'm going to be your social worker today. So tell me how your life's been.
My life the last 15 years has been pretty stressful. I lost my father 10 years ago. I was close to my father and had a really close relationship, and it has really stressed me, worrying about how things are going to change after his death and everything. And my mother was really having a hard time with it. She's used to having the person pay her bills and write checks out and everything, which my dad was in charge of, and it put a lot of stress on me having to help her out with that.
So it seems like you're feeling kind of overwhelmed with everything that, you know, the whole losing your father thing and then your mother as well. It seems like you're kind of overwhelming at point.
Yes, I am. I started nursing school a couple years ago, which that added to the stress between trying to go to school and having time to study and then doing for my mother. It has really been a challenge for me.
So it seems like you have a lot on your plate, pretty much.
Yes, I feel like I do. I also have 2 children, and that pretty much adds to it also. I feel like I've just had a very challenging life over the last 10 to 15 years.
Challenging, but not bad in a way. You're saying like more of like a good challenging to make you better.
I feel like my life now is going to reflect, once I'm finished with everything as far as my schooling and everything, I feel like it's going to be for the better and to my benefit. It's just getting through that point. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes in the household, having all the chores and all of that, and having the time to study, I have trouble with adjusting my schedule to the way it needs to be daily. I know that I need to do that, but I really am having a hard time with it right now.
So you're having a hard time kind of setting like the limits of, you know, what you're going to do at home, you know, with school, studying, you know. I can see that. I can definitely see that being, you know, crazy, you know.
With me, I like to be set on a set schedule. My times is what I'm really struggling with. Like, for instance, on a Monday, I'm going to do from 8 to 12 in the morning, I'm going to study. From 12 to 3, I need to house clean, laundry, all of that. And after my kids get home, have that 3 to at least 6 or 7 just to spend time with my kids.
Right. So it's more of like a prioritizing time sort of thing in your case?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finding what is more important right now, which I know that my studies are important, but I also find my family time really concerning also, because that's going to be something that I'm going to have lifelong. School is not going to be lifelong. That's my major struggle right now, putting it on a schedule and knowing when to do it, and when I do schedule it, focusing on that specific thing to be able to learn, like with my studies, you know, having my mind completely on that and not on nothing else, which is complicated for me.
So, like I said, you're more as prioritizing time, and with school, I can definitely see that you would be overwhelmed with that. You know, I mean, you seem like you've got a lot going on with your kids, and then,
Yeah. It has definitely been crazy the last couple years. Which I'm hoping, I know it's for the better, and I'm hoping things will calm down once I get through school and I get finished with the schooling part. I'm hoping things will calm down and my life will get back to normal. But right now, my focus and is kind of like all over the place. There's no specific
right.
point in my life that I need to focus more on, I don't feel like right now, because there's so much going on, and it's so swamped with everything, and all of the situations that I'm dealing with right now are important to me. And since my father has passed, my mother has gotten sick also, and I feel like I need to be there times for her because she has anxiety, she has COPD and emphysema, and she's really has hard complications with breathing. I feel like that I need to be there for her also. And it's really been, she's not one to want to be by herself, so it's kind of like a struggle with being there and not being there too much, but not being there enough also.
Right. So I can definitely sense that some complications with, you happen to be there for your mom, when she was alive, but then I could definitely see, like, where you're thankful that you had your mom, for as long as you did, and I can definitely see where you're upset that your dad isn't in the picture, there to be with your mom and when she needed you.
I think my major problem with losing my dad was the fact that people are supposed to have grandchildren, and they are supposed to grow old and be happy and be in the family and get to enjoy their grandchildren. But when my dad passed, my children were only 5 and 6 years old, and it made it really complicated because my youngest, who was my son, he had a really close relationship with his grandpa, and they had their own way of acting toward each other. They had their own relationship, and after he passed, my son had complications with dealing with that because of losing his grandpa and losing that closeness. In other words, I guess you could say I felt like my father was cheated out of the life that he should have had, and both of my children were cheated, definitely, out of having their grandfather.
Well, that can be, upsetting, it can really take a toll on the person, having to deal with that,